So there is a reason why parents spend so much money to send us to school. You may not have acquired a university education, but in so many cases, parents try to put you in a place where you get better enlightenment than they ever got. This is the case of a man that is called Chi Chikwado Eze. Chikwado Eze has passed on in a grave at Iye, a community in Igbo Eze, North local government area of Enugu State. Okay, it is gathered that the deceased, who hail from the Ugba community, also in the Affirmation Council area, had secured a visa to travel abroad for his business, but needed fortification for more fortune in his business. It was, also said that he approached a native doctor at Inyi, who, among other items, he demanded from the late Eze, insisted that he must be buried in a grave for 1.5 hours to get adequate fortification for his business trip. Okay, now it was also further learned that the disease had gone to the native doctor with his biological father. So what they are trying to say right now is that he secured the visa to travel overseas for a business and needed fortification for the business to be successful. And so he went to the village and spoke to the dad, okay? And the dad took him to a known, potent native doctor right there in the village. And the man enlisted the things that Eze will have to bring. And among everything that he enlisted for Eze to bring, Eze will have to be put in the grave for 1.5 hours for fortification. And they said Eze agreed, and they put him in a casket and put in a grave for 1.5 hours. By the time they went to bring him out, they of course they went and brought him out of that space, only to find out that he had passed on. They could not bring him out alive. He came out dead. Okay, and so they said the incident was reported to the police, and the police has arrested the father and also arrested the native doctor who performed the fortification. Now, I want to say that apart from anything, it is important for you to listen to your parent. But I want to believe that there is a reason why parents send children to school. Or maybe in his case, he's uneducated but I see educated people who do even worse than this. But however, it's important for you to be objective in your own thought process. How is it possible that you are a human being? You're not an insect. And they asked you to go into a casket for 1.5 hours and you agree to that. Is it because because they said the father was seated there for 1.5 hours, and apparently it was looking as if it wasn't even in such a way from what they are saying. Okay, they said that the coffin was actually sealed. Okay, maybe he had issues of fresh air or whatever, he couldn't breathe, and because they had sealed that casket, he could not lift it up because he's a man. I believe that if it wasn't sealed, he would have been able to lift it up and come out. Then some people are saying they actually use sand to cover it, and they were supposed to go and dig it out, and that was what they did. And so for somebody who is a human being, what do you think? Like, how do we even allow people brainwash us like this? As in, it's not a rocket science. You're supposed to know by yourself that this is not possible. It's almost as if you're not a fish, and somebody tells you that, okay, for you to be truly fortified, I want you to jump into an ocean that you cannot swim and be there for 1.5 hours. By the time I bring you out, you will be fortified. No matter what that person is saying, like, even if the person tells you that they are God, you tell them that this is not possible. You know why it's not possible? Because I am human, okay? And so this man secured a visa, and he was supposed to go abroad and, do his business. So what makes you feel that the God who gave you the visa will not fortify you? If it was not your destiny to go in the first place, God would have made them to deny you that visa, and you decided to go and bring this upon yourself just because it was your father who took you there. Sometimes we need to say no when we need to say no. We need to we need to think about certain things before we do them. Fortification. What is this fortification? A lot of these people who are saying they are fortifying people, at the end of the day, if God wants you to leave, you leave. If God doesn't want you to leave, you're not going to leave. And so it's important for us to be very mindful of the things we do. It doesn't matter who is telling you to do them. You have a thought process. You should be able to process it and understand that this is not going to end up well. It's a very sad situation, but as we are hearing, they have taken the father and the native doctor into custody. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.